Hi, and welcome to February 2020. So, this is going to be your horoscope for the Native American Zodiac, which is based on a book from Sun Bear, and you can find that on Amazon or anywhere. But this is based on his system that he conglomerated from the Cherokee and the Pawnee and the Shawnee and other sources and created a very wonderful animal totem based zodiac. So I will give the forecast this month for February. And we start out with the sun in the otter. The otter. The sun is our vitality. The sun is what powers us and fuels us. And I am really getting fueled by my new t-shirt. Oh my God, I love my new t-shirt. So the otter is a fantastic little creature. They can survive in just a minuscule amount of water or a great big huge river. They make over 100 different sounds. I mean, otters are just cool. They're so cool. And they're feisty. They just seem so amazingly adaptive to their environment. So the sun is in that. We have the potential to feel very on top of things, very in the flow. And keep in mind that by the 19th, we will be going into Pisces season, which is the wolf. So the otter is Aquarius and Pisces is the wolf. So the wolf is more plodding, and the wolf knows all the secret trails of the forest. Whereas the otter sticks to the waterways. You know, he knows his little turf, and he can manage his turf. The wolf knows every secret little hiding place. So this is going to be a dynamic shift when the sun goes into the wolf later in the month. This is more of us feeling like we know the intricacies of something, and we know how to dip and duck and not be so caught up in the brambles and the thorns. We know the secret trails around the brambles and the thorns to get out of that. But we know the secret hiding spot in the back of the brambles if there's something coming after us, and we know a place where we need to hide. So this is a very different kind of energy towards the end of the month. Mercury, our planet of thoughts and stuff, starts out in the otter, but very quickly, by the 4th is in the wolf, and also Venus is in the wolf in the beginning. So from like the 3rd until Venus moves into the hawk around the 9th, there's going to be a doubling up of this Mercury Venus in the wolf, where we might hear secrets, we might know secrets, we might tell secrets, we might just have like secret little trail that we like to walk out in the woods, and that's where we find our peace and our serenity. Might be something to do with secret places or secret things, and finding your secret place in your own self, or where you like to feel that comfortable, safe little spot that you can have your own little fantasies and stuff. Once Venus moves into the hawk, all bets are off. She gets quite fired up around the 9th, it looks like. And also, let's see, on the 10th is the full moon in Cancer, which is the flicker, or the woodpecker. I like calling it the flicker, because we have flickers here in Illinois. And they're similar to a woodpecker. It's a similar bird. So you're going to have a square aspect between the full moon and the new sign that Venus has gone into in the hawk. So this is going to be, yes, the full moon is a culmination, and yes, the full moon is sort of in the flicker is kind of like the home body and more about the home, whereas the opposite, the goose, is more about flying high above the forest and flying to far different places and having kind of status in the world. Whereas the flicker, the full moon is in the flicker, so that's going to be more the opposite, more homey, more content to be around your home, make your home nicer. Might be a culmination of a project. I had a plumbing project I just finished up that has been a long time coming, and boy, it is nice to just flush that toilet and everything works. I'm sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about. So this could be a culmination of I mean, for me, that's like a literal example of a culmination of a project in my home. So this could not necessarily manifest in such an obvious way. It could be you hang a new picture up in your living room. You get a new lamp that helps you read at night when you want to read a book. Or maybe you get some plants on your windowsill in where you're doing the dishes, you know. It could be just some little thing that you do that just makes your home feel so much good. And it's just like, yes, that was just the finishing touch right there. So as we move through, we've got, let's see, Mars is in Sag, which is the owl. So it is a fire sign. The owl is a fire sign. But with Mars in the owl, this is more of a fun fire, you might say. I think Sagittarians are fun. They usually laugh a lot and laugh easily and like to make you laugh. So the owl, he's got a lot of friends in a lot of places. He flies from treetop to treetop, and he knows all the different animals of the whole forest. So they get around. Owls get around. But by, let's see, the 16th or so, it's going to be going into the goose. So this is much more earthy. So this is our fire and our energy. And often the goose, if you're not really doing something with that energy, the goose can kind of make you feel a little depressed, like, oh, I'm spinning my wheels, I'm stuck in the mud. So it would be good to spend those weeks. I think it's only going to be about a month in that sign. Let me see where it moves. There's Aquarius. Well, all through March too, it'll be in the goose. So the goose is good for projects. You want to have projects that you can work on and take a break and work on and take a break and whatnot. In the process of making a little putt-putt course in my side yard for my grandkids. That's going to be my project for the next month, so that by the time spring warms up, they're going to have a nice little place to play. We love putt-putt around here. So that is what I am going to do to use that earthy energy. Right now I'm getting my wood together, trying to find all the golf balls I can and little kitty size, putters and stuff to get everything ready. And hopefully the weather will be agreeable and I can start setting it up and getting it ready for them. And we'll have like a grand thing come the springtime. So I'm looking forward to that project. So that's a good way to use that Mars energy. Jupiter, the planet of luck, is in Capricorn. It's going to be in Capricorn a while. Also, Saturn's in Capricorn. Also, Pluto's in Capricorn. A lot of this Capricorn energy. So, pardon me. Use that energy. Use that potential. All these forces are really making things come together for you. With this putt-putt thing that I'm building, I had a most wonderful idea of making a shark with its mouth open. And you have to shoot the ball through the shark's mouth, and it came out really good. So I've had this creativity in a very practical, constructive way, and that's a really good way to get this energy out. Writing down stuff, journaling, creating something with your hands, getting stuff under your fingernails, getting mucky and stuff. That is the best way to use this energy, and your ideas will be charged with all of this earthy energy, and it should be a great time for that. We have Uranus in Taurus, another earth sign. Uranus tends to bring a lot of unexpected things and kind of tends to throw a lot of static in the air and sort of to shake things up, a little bit. But in the very stable sign of Taurus, this is going to be working well with that goose energy. So Taurus is the beaver. So Uranus in the sign of the beaver, he likes to just be in his pond, chewing on his logs, piling up his logs into his little log castle, and he likes to be just left alone and do his thing. But with Uranus moving through that sign for about 7 years, it's going to be in Taurus a long time. Excuse me. This energy is going to be released in an earthly kind of way. So it's not going to necessarily be through people or through, jobs and money and stuff. It's going to be a much more earthy, grounded way of possibly your neighborhood around where you live, possibly the ground under your property that you live on. You might find out there's some kind of mineral rights for your property or something. It's very unexpected things can happen related to that, things that you value. You might find a baseball card in a box and find out that baseball card's worth a ton of money. Could be just something out of the blue like that. But generally, it'll be in a very easy to digest kind of manner. It's kind of a more slower plotting place for Uranus to be, which is good for us. That's very good for us because we can take it in a little more bite-sized pieces, I feel. Anyway, so we have Neptune in the Wolf. So Neptune is going to be with, with the Venus and Mercury there for a few days in the beginning of the month. So this adds to that sense of having a secret world. I would think that reading a good fantasy book would be a good way to escape, or going on a little trip to escape your local neighborhood, going to maybe going to a park that's not your usual park, but it's a little bit farther away, or going to maybe some nice little getaway where you can be kind of, in your own little world and not have to have too much bothering you. So those are the bigger planets. To get back to the daily motions of the smaller planets, which they call pretty much the personal planets, I wanted to point out a few other things. As we move through the middle of the month, we come up on a Mercury retrograde. So that Mercury that is in the Wolf is going to start appearing in the sky to be going backwards. And this seems to be a time in a cycle where we tend to need to redo some things, or possibly revisit some things, or take another look at things. And that's going to be for a few weeks into March. So that starts around the 17th. And at that time, Mars moves into the goose. So not only, let's see, I'll get my computer straight here. So not only are we going to have Mercury kind of doing its little wobble in the sky, we're going to have a whole lot more energy into this area that's already got, the goose already has Saturn and Pluto. And let's see. Yeah. So there's a lot of energy that Mars and Jupiter. Oh, and Jupiter. So it's all linking up and joining together. And this was going to add even more energy into those things that are working in your life in that regard, whatever they are manifesting in you for you personally. We have a new moon. Looks like it's in Pisces around the 23rd. So that's going to be in the Wolf. That's going to be joining Neptune. It's already in the Wolf. That secretive fantasy kind of realm that we all have kind of in that daydreamy spot in our head. So this new moon is going to trigger a lot of that energy, as in we are going to really see where we can progress in that. Like we will see, there we go. We will see where we can start new things with this energy, because a new moon is starting energy. So it'll be easier to see what those new things are that we can, new avenues we can use this energy. So I hope this has been helpful, and I'm going to make another March video, and I want to post both of these because we're already into February and I want you to have Marches ready. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and thanks for watching.